praying, fasting, reading the Bible. What is the point? What is the ultimate end and goal for these activities? These good works that we do that don't necessarily impact anyone else, and sometimes they don't even seem to impact us. What's the point? In Philippians 2:12, Paul says, "Therefore, my beloved, as you have always obeyed, so now, not only as in my presence, but much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, for it is God who works in you, both to will and to do for his good pleasure." This is one of those well-known but kind of hard to understand passages that I've had various takes on over the years. But one thing that God has been teaching me, and then he immediately brought this verse to mind to click with it, is that our prayer and Bible reading and fasting and anything else that we do that's kind of just between us and God creates a space. It's not about doing something in a sense that it'll add something. It'll add to my salvation if I pray or read my Bible every day. It will add to God's love for me. No, it will add to my spirituality. No, because we are just humans and we are not capable of increasing our sanctification or our salvation one whit. So what's the point of doing it? We are told we're supposed to work at our salvation. We're told that we're supposed to do these certain things. We're supposed to obey. Why? Because it creates a space for God to come in and change you. It is your job to create the space. It is your job to get on your knees and pray. It is your job to open up the Bible and read. It is your job to fast. It is your job to humble yourself. But when you do those things, it is God's job and it is his pleasure to come in and fill you with his Spirit and to change you and to transform you into an image more like Jesus. That's the point. And you might not see it right away, so don't get discouraged if you pray and fire doesn't come down from heaven. It may seem that there's nothing there at first in that space that you've created. It may seem that you haven't changed. Keep that space open. That is God's space. This is the space for him to come in when he chooses to act. It is not to be filled with anything else. It's his space. So keep that space open and don't get discouraged and don't give up when things don't seem to be changing, when your prayer and your Bible reading or your fasting doesn't seem to be amounting to much. Your job is just to create the space and to continue to fight off the sin and fight off the false desires and fight off anything else that tries to get into that space and fill it. Keep that space open for God. That's why you do these good works. That's why you act and do things, because it creates a space for God to come in and work in you, both to will and to work for his good pleasure. Something to think about, especially during the Lenten season as it's getting started. So thanks, girls. I'll see you next week.